What is up, guys? This is Nick from NACLY Gaming, or Salty Gaming, either way, just fine. Here to talk about something that's been buzzing around the internet for a little bit. What new operators is Rainbow Six going to add into the game? Here I'm just going to be talking about my predictions. This isn't confirmed at all. Please do not take this as confirmed. Take it with a grain of salt. I don't know any developers. I don't know anything. I'm just saying what would make the most sense in this game and ones that would just be cool to see into the game. First up, I'm going to talk about the elephant in the room, and if it's not the elephant in the room, you haven't been watching many YouTube videos on Rainbow Six yet. Two operators have been leaked, I guess. One has a shield on their weapon, something like this. It should appear on your screen. And one is a guy that places cameras around the room. Everyone kind of expected the camera guy, so that makes a lot of sense. And the shield guy, I don't know how that's going to work. I think that's going to look real weird. But either way, it's going to be interesting to see how they work on the field. This isn't confirmed or anything. I've seen people talk about it. First up for an offensive on my list is a reinforced. This would pretty much just make a hole in a reinforced wall, a kill hole if you will, and that's pretty much it. He wouldn't have much else to do. He kind of be like Thermite, but on a smaller level. If he was balanced, hole make. He could be a very good addition into the game. Something that I think a lot of people would want too. Next up is a defensive operator. This operator, I don't know if I should have added this one in or not. I thought it would be really cool, but an extra reinforced wall guy. So he would have one or two unbreakable reinforced walls. So you put his one or two reinforces up, and that they couldn't be broken. It would be an unbreakable surface at that point. And it would only be two of them. It wouldn't break the game or anything. But sometimes things just have too many routes, and that's the main problems I see on most of my list, is blocking off routes and how to get into things. And this would be a great way to block out some routes and some of the crazier, very destructible levels. Next up is one, I don't know if many people would want this in, but I think it'd be a cool addition into the game, and that's a better sniper. Glass is great and all, but I'd like to see like a bolt-action sniper rifle going in. Hear me out here. This is how the damage model would go in my eyes. One shot body or headshot, of course. Arms and legs, again, you don't die. And it would just down you. It's not like you're just out after that one shot. And you'd obviously have to make it so people couldn't quickscope with it, because that just wouldn't fit into the game. And that would be cool to just see a guy with a ghillie suit, or even get one of the SWAT guys with the M40s on there. They look sweet. That would be a really cool addition into the game. Next up is one that's kind of hard to explain, and this is one I just want to block out a route. Like some maps, on other maps this could be quite overpowered, but on some maps it's just really hard to cover all the routes. I think there's too many routes at some points. So this one would be a great remedy for that. So you'd put gasoline. I'm just using gasoline as an example because that's all I could think of. Put gasoline down in one place only, and you'd light on fire, and when people walk through that, they take massive damage. And that it would kind of work like Bandit's barbed wire, but you can't get rid of it. It would block off that pathway unless you want to get super hurt. I think that's a great way to remedy the route problem. Next up is something I just added to the list like 2 days ago, because I had this one game that people just kept on throwing smoke, and that whole lobby, it was just all smoke. And this, I feel like it's going to become a problem. So if it does, I would say get a guy with a thermal camera, kind of like Pulse, but can't see through walls. It can only see through smoke. I wouldn't like a INRV scope or anything like that. I just like to see someone with like a camera, like Pulse's camera. You can't shoot with it, just so you can see through the smoke, because it really could be for offense and defense. More for offense, I guess. If you could use in tandem with the smoke grenades, could be pretty effective, but it would kind of nerf the smoke grenades if you did use it on defense. So really that one's up to the developers, but I think that should be added into the game to nerf or empower the smoke grenades. Smoke grenades are kind of in that middle column right now. Next up is my most in-depth character I thought of. A stealth person with 0 footsteps, zero sounds or callouts. I don't know if there's callouts anymore, but if there is, no callouts, just he wouldn't make any noise at all. And a great way to balance this out is give him weapons with only suppressors like attached, like the VS Val or the MP5 SD, which have suppressors that are built into the weapon, so it would do less damage per shot, and have that pistol that's the Markov with the built-in suppressor. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but a bunch of images should be popping up on your screen of these weapons, but I think that would be a great thing. And he could have smoke or throwing knives. Of course he can't have grenades because no sound. And yeah, next up, I don't know if this is a necessity to put into the game as much as I just would like to see a crossbow into this game. This one would be quite difficult to balance out. How I looked at it, it would be a one-shot kill, down and out. You'd only get 1 or 2 arrows, and it can't go through walls, it can't do any of that. It just, one shot, you're out. And that would be your only gadget, so again, you wouldn't be doing much for your team. It can be selfish, but it is that one-shot kill. It could be offense or defense. I just think it'd be really freaking cool to have a crossbow in this game. Next up, I couldn't decide if this was offense or defense, and it would be a detachable suppressor man. That's what I put him down as, because I don't know how else to say it. He has a suppressor he can take off and put on at all times. They had this in the old Rainbow Sixes. I don't know why they took that off now, maybe for balance reasons, but I think it would be a cool guy to have a gadget so he can be loud and quiet at the same time. Again, this could be offense or defense using it. I just would like to see that in the game. Next up is a defensive operator that has a decoy, and I don't know if this would work good. It'd be either work good or not work at all. So you'd have this decoy that makes a bunch of shooting noises and stuff for a longer period of time, so it wouldn't be completely just useless. And so it would bring someone to like a room, and you could be waiting in another room and just gun them down or something. I don't know how exactly it would work in this game, but I think it would be a cool just experiment to put in the game, if anything. Next up is a defensive operator, and it's gonna sound weird, but hear me out. A sonic microwave weapon user. Most of you probably won't know what that is, but if you ever played Black Ops 2 and you had the Guardians, it would pretty much just work like a Guardian. It pretty much is the Guardian, and it's this weapon that you can put down, and it goes straight, and it would disorientate and damage your enemy a little bit. And I think that would be a really cool thing. You could have like 3 of them and black out some routes. They of course could shoot it and kill it, but of course they'd take a little bit of damage and be disoriented if they could even shoot it. That's it for my list, guys. Thanks for watching, and if they do add any of this in the game, no, you heard it here first. And please leave in the comments down below any that you think should be added into the game or you think will be added into the game. And again, thanks for watching, and have a good one.